This tiny computer stand ended up being way more technical and time consuming than I expected, but the finished result was definitely worth it. It all started with a slightly warped live edge cherry slab. I glued it to a flat board and planed it to get a flat reference point. Then I could flip it over and get the other side flat as well. After planing both sides, I had a clean slate to work with. The bark had mostly fallen off, so with just a little bit of cleanup on the edge with the wire wheel, the live edge was looking good. I went ahead and made sure that the two ends of the board were cut to a perfect 90 and then did some light sanding before moving on to the scary part of this build, cutting the waterfall edge. A waterfall edge lets the grain flow seamlessly from the top of a table down the legs. But one wrong cut here and the consistent flow of grain is ruined. Now, I had never tried this before and really didn't have the best tools for the job. No track saw, a terrible miter gauge, and too small of a miter saw. So I went at it with about my last choice, a circular saw and a clamped fence. I definitely learned here that it would have been easier to cut the corner for the legs first, because in this scenario, I didn't have enough space for the second cut on the legs to clamp a fence. So I ended up freehanding it, which is really just a terrible idea for a waterfall edge. The result was far from perfect, but I figured it was good enough for my personal desk. Next up, it was time to glue these mitered edges. Now, this is my first time using these corner clamps, and dang did they make it easy to hold everything at a 90-degree angle. Now, you may be looking at this setup thinking it's overkill, but can you ever really have too many clamps? Now, another first for me, wood splines. There are some solid DIY jigs out there to help make these cuts, but I have limited space and don't foresee me doing this often enough to make a jig, so I just used a table saw and a stop block. And for a quick setup, this worked shockingly well. Wood splines significantly increase the strength of a mitered edge, and they also can provide for some great contrast and visual appeal. Since this cherry wood was lighter, I knew I wanted the splines to be darker, so I ended up milling a black walnut log I had in the wood pile. To get this log into flat, usable lumber, it was back to what is apparently my favorite tool, the glue gun. After planing it down flat on both sides, I used the glue gun one last time so I could run it along the table saw, getting a straight edge. And voila, from log in the wood pile to wood splines. Creating these 6 tiny splines definitely felt like way too much work in the moment. But once I had them all in place and saw the visual contrast it created, it was totally worth it. After getting things cleaned up, my poor cuts on the mitered edges were apparent. And this is honestly a margin of error I'm pretty happy with considering I did the cut freehand, but I still wanted to clean it up a bit. So, I ran a rounded screwdriver along the edge to help bend the wood fibers into each other, hiding the gap. I then worked some wood glue into the seam and sanded it while the glue was still wet. This creates a bit of wood paste from the sawdust mixing with the glue and helps fill in any remaining gaps. All that was left was the ever so satisfying finish, which was especially fantastic to see going over the contrasting slivers of black walnut and the cherry wood. I applied Danish oil, let it cure, then rubbed in a layer of wax for some added shine and protection. A beautiful wood piece, extra desk space, and some new techniques under my belt. It's a good day. Like and subscribe if you want to follow along for more builds and woodworking tips.